Happy to be joined by Skype with member of Israeli Parliament from the Labor Gesher Meretz Party, Merav Michaeli. Ms. Michaeli, thank you very much for being with us again today. The coronavirus really has topped the headlines and the agenda, and the formation of the Israeli government has somewhat gone down the list of agenda for the public, at least for the time being. But we hear the Prime Minister saying this is a time for a unity government. He said this before in the previous campaigns, but now he says the coronavirus is forcing us to do it. Do you buy it?
No, I do not. I think, moreover, the coronavirus is one more reason why it is urgent to replace Netanyahu and not to join him. You know, being able to deal with a crisis at this magnitude depends so much on the trust of the public. Now, when you have a prime minister who does not have the trust of the public, not only in terms of emotion, but also constituencies, in terms of constituents, that's what I mean, constitutional. He did not, he lost 3 elections in a row. He does not have the mandate. He's actually not a prime minister. So he's misusing the crisis. He's misusing the power that he has as sitting prime minister to abuse the will of the people and to abuse Israeli democracy. This is very, very dangerous. And therefore, not only should we not go to a unity government, whatever, by the way, the word unity does not even apply here, because what Netanyahu means when he says unity is going with all of the right-wing bloc that he holds half captive, half willingly captive, but without the joint list, for instance. So it's a semi-unity government, but more than ever, it is very clear that he must be replaced as soon as possible.
And yet, Ms. Michaeli, Netanyahu now is in a situation where he addresses the Israeli public nearly every night. He announces these measures. He's surrounded by the health minister and other officials in his cabinet. Is it getting harder and harder to make the Israeli public see another option for prime minister than Netanyahu?
No, not at all. I think, again, a lot of Israeli public does not trust Netanyahu, does not trust his decision, does not trust that the decision-making stems really from the public interest and not subjected to the very personal, very political, and very survival interests of Netanyahu himself. Thus, not only are you not in a position that it's hard to see someone else, but it's really dire. It's so dire that you have to have someone else in these shoes, someone who at least enjoys the benefit of the doubt that he is not corrupt and that he's not working for his own personal interest.
So, Ms. Michaeli, if not a unity government, do you see a scenario where we could be headed to yet another round of elections?
Well, it's too soon to tell, I think. But first and foremost, and I heard your political correspondent reporting about the crisis that we have in the Knesset. Because, again, not only does Netanyahu spin and try to, remain in power in spite of having lost 3 elections in a row, but now they're trying to abuse the power that they still hold in the Knesset, not recognizing the fact that they are not the majority anymore and not allowing the majority to exercise their right to vote, to replace the chair, the speaker of the Knesset, to form the committees of the Knesset, and to actually get the Knesset into work. And this whole talk about shutting down the Knesset, shutting down Parliament, this is crazy. All of the states, the other countries in the world who are dealing with the coronavirus crisis at the moment, even if they do use really extreme measures to take care of the public health, none of them even occurred to anyone to shut down the parliament. By the way, as well as the justice system, the extent to which the justice system is shut down in Israel is not similar to any other democracy that deals with coronavirus at the moment. All of this goes to show you how dangerous it is right now in Israel to be under a prime minister who was not elected, who is under a threat. It's not a threat. He's under 3 indictments of corruption and fraud, and is using the situation for his benefit rather than for the benefit of the state of Israel, its citizens, its society, and unfortunately is jeopardizing its democracy.
And we certainly hope not to see a government shut down and a functioning government sometime soon. Merav Michaeli, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.